This conference will now be
Okay, you guys
recorded.
able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we have seen writing a custom workflow, right? We have written the custom workflow in Visual Studio, and we built that custom workflow, and we registered that custom workflow through plugin registration tool. And after registration, we went to the process. This is processes. See, this is the system workflow. Let it load. Okay, let it load. Okay, let's deactivate. Okay, so this is your system workflow. From this system workflow, we called the custom workflow. This is our custom workflow, MS CRM custom workflow, AirAsia update cost of product. Okay, till this we have seen yesterday. Okay, so today we will discuss about passing the parameters. Okay, so let me open the Excel. Okay, so we have system workflow. We have system workflow, and we also have custom workflow, right? So this custom workflow we have written in Visual Studio, and after that we build the code, and then we register. We register using plugin registration tool. Plugin registration tool from XRM toolbox. Okay, so this is what we did. After registration in the system workflow, we attached the custom workflow, right? We attached the custom workflow inside the system workflow like this. Okay, how did we attach it? Let's say, let me show you one more time. Okay, now you can click on add step. When you click on add step, you can see the custom workflow. This is our custom workflow. Click on this and select this particular custom workflow. When you select it, it will get added. So this is how you can attach a custom workflow into system workflow. Now you have system workflow which has the trigger point, and you also have a custom workflow which has the logic, right? So now let's say if you want to pass the data from system workflow to custom workflow or custom workflow to system workflow. I want to pass the data. Okay, I want to pass the data from system workflow to custom workflow or from custom workflow to system workflow. How can you pass? You can pass the data using input parameters. Okay, so using input parameters, you can pass the data between system workflow and custom workflow. So, sorry, using parameters. Okay, using the parameters, you can pass the data from system workflow to custom workflow or from custom workflow to system workflow. Okay, so you have two types of parameters. First parameter is input parameter. Input parameter. And the second parameter is output parameter. Second parameter is output parameter. So you have two types of parameters. First one is input parameter. Second one is output parameter, right? Let's say if you want to pass the data from system workflow to custom workflow. Okay, the direction is from system workflow to custom workflow. Okay, so direction is system workflow to custom workflow. So if you want to pass the data from system workflow to custom workflow, then you have to use input parameters. Okay, using input parameters, you can pass the data from system workflow to custom workflow. Let's say if you want to pass the data from custom workflow to system workflow, so custom workflow to custom workflow to system workflow. Custom workflow to system workflow. If you want to pass the data from custom workflow to system workflow, then you have to use output parameters. You have two types of parameters, input and output. Input parameters can be useful if you want to pass the data from system workflow to custom workflow. Output parameters can be useful in case if you want to pass the data from custom workflow to system workflow. Okay, so this is how you can pass the data between the workflows. Now I will show you how to declare the input and output parameters. Now I will show you how to declare input and output parameters. See, this is your custom workflow, right? When I click on set properties, right now you do not have any parameters. See here, you don't see any parameters. Where did I click? This is my custom workflow. When I click on set properties, I don't see any parameters. Now I am going to declare the input and output parameters, and I just wanted to show you how you can pass the data between the workflows. Now you cannot declare the input or output parameter inside the system workflow. In system workflow, you do not have the control to define input or output parameters. If you want to declare input or output parameters, you have to go back to the custom workflow. Okay, let's go back to custom workflow. See, this is your custom workflow. Okay, this is the place where we have written our code, .NET code. So now here only we have to declare input and output parameters. Okay, let's say let's go to contact. Let's refresh this contact. Okay, fine. See here, see here, I have a contact record. So when will our system workflow gets triggered? So this is our system workflow, right? This system workflow is getting triggered when I change the cost of product. See, when I change the cost of product, the system workflow will get triggered, right? So when I modify this particular cost of product, let's say if I enter it like 5,000, and if I click on save, if I click on save, what will happen? Our system workflow will get triggered, and that will call the custom workflow. So since I am modifying this cost of product, let's say my system workflow got triggered. Let's say if I want to pass this job title information into my custom workflow. Okay, I want to pass this particular job title information into my custom workflow, or any other information that I wanted to pass into custom workflow. See, when I modify the cost of product, my system workflow it is getting triggered. This system workflow is getting triggered, and it is internally calling custom workflow. So when I am calling custom workflow, I wanted to pass this job title as a parameter. I want to pass this job title as a parameter to custom workflow. Okay, so I want to pass this job title information to custom workflow as a parameter from system workflow. From system workflow, I want to pass job title as a parameter, input parameter to custom workflow. Okay, now I want to pass this job title as a parameter to custom workflow. Okay, how can you pass? So if you don't know how to define the input and output parameters of a custom workflow, you can simply type like this: mscrm custom workflow, input and output parameters. Okay, so you can type it like this. Here you can get the code. You can open. Okay, see here, this is how you have to define the input and output parameters. Okay, first let's define the input parameter. So let's copy this information, copy, and where should you paste it? Inside the code activity, inside your class. Okay, where do you have the class? This is my class. Okay, this is my class. Inside the class, not inside the method. We are not declaring inside the method, we are declaring inside the class. So class is getting started here, paste it here. Okay, so this is my input parameter. So double quotes are wrong, add double quotes properly. Okay, so this is input parameter. So I want to pass job title as a parameter, so this job title, what is the data type of this job title? What is the data type of job title? It is single line of text. It is accepting numbers and alphabets as well, right? So it is a single line of text. Okay, how am I saying that it is a single line of text? It is a text field. See, I can enter text and numbers as well. Okay, so it is a single line of text. So here since it is a single line of text, you need to give the data type as a string. Okay, let's say if it is currency field, then you have to give the type as money. If it is a date time, then you have to give date type. If it is a lookup, if you want to pass the lookup information, then here you have to pass the data type as entity reference. Lookup, we will call it as entity reference. Okay, let's say if you are passing option set, then you have to give the data type here as like option set value, like this. If you want to pass lookup, then you have to give it like entity reference, something like this. Okay, since it is now I am passing, now I wanted to pass text field, single line of text, so it should be a string. Okay, so this is job title, right? So this is job title. So this is how you can declare a input argument. See, this is input in argument. In argument means input argument. Input argument means the data is flowing from system workflow to custom workflow. Okay, so this is input parameter. Now I am passing job title from system workflow to custom workflow. Okay, so let's declare one more parameter, output. Required argument means what? Required argument means I must pass the value. Required argument means I must pass this job title value while calling a custom workflow from system workflow. So if I do not give this required argument, even if you pass an empty value, system will accept. But if you keep it like required argument, and if you don't pass it, then it will throw in I mean, it will not allow you to save the record until you pass the job title value. Required argument means you must pass the value, job title value, from system workflow to custom workflow. Okay, so this is how you can declare input argument. Let's say if you want to pass the data from custom workflow to system workflow. I want to pass the data from custom workflow to system workflow. In that case, you have to declare out argument. How to declare the output argument? Yeah, see here. Uh, so this is how you can declare output parameters. See here, two output parameters that they declare. So now I am just copying it and paste it here. Okay, this is output parameter. So you have to give the proper double quotes. So here, output parameter means, let's say I want to send one message to the system workflow. Now in this requirement, what are we doing? We are getting all the claims. See, using this get claims method, we are getting all the claims which are specific to a contact, and we are updating the claim cost of product with the contact cost of product. Contact cost of product, we are placing it on claim contact claim cost of product, right? So we are just updating the claim cost of product with the contact cost of product, right? So I just wanted to declare one boolean flag. The type of the flag is boolean, and the output parameter is I am giving like is update done. So this is my output parameter, is update done. Okay, so or is claim update done, is claim update done. So this is the name of the output parameter that I am pass that I wanted to pass. Okay, is claim update done. I just wanted to set this flag as true or false, yes or no. Okay, yes or no, which means, let's say if I update all the claims which are specific to a contact, then I wanted to set this flag as yes. Let's say if I if any error occurs, or if there is any issue with the custom workflow to update the claim information, then I wanted to set this flag as no or false. Okay, so see, if everything is done, let's say I got all the claims which are specific to a contact, and I updated the claims cost of product to contact cost of product. If everything goes well, then I wanted to set this flag as true. Or if any exception occurs, or if any error occurs, then I wanted to set the flag as false. Okay, so this information I wanted to pass it from custom workflow to system workflow. Okay, custom workflow to system workflow. Okay, so this is output parameter. This is name of the output parameter. So same name I wanted, you can give the same name, or you can give any name which you want. Okay, so this is of type boolean, and this is output argument. Okay, so we declared one input argument. We declared one input argument, that is job title. We are receiving the job title, and we are also sending, or we are also we declared one output parameter which is sending the data from custom workflow to system workflow. Okay, let's save this. Now I modified the code, right? Since I modified the code, I have to build this code. So this is your project, right click, build it. Now we are building the code. Okay, so build succeeded. Now let's go back to XRM toolbox. Okay, see, now you build the code. You modified the code and you build the code. Once you build the code, DLL will be updated. So the same DLL you have to update through plugin registration tool. You only build it in Visual Studio, not in CRM. So when you build it, it will update the DLL file. So the same DLL file you have to update in CRM through plugin registration tool. I can show you. Right click on the project, open folder in File Explorer, go to bin folder, debug folder. See, this is the DLL file. See when it was updated, 31st today. At what time? 11:54 just now. So our DLL got updated once we build it. So the same DLL file you also need to update in CRM through plugin registration tool. So this plugin registration tool is available in XRM toolbox. So you need to open XRM toolbox first. So let's click on downloads. Yesterday we downloaded the XRM toolbox. Open XRM toolbox, connect to XRM toolbox. Now I am opening XRM toolbox. Let it open. Okay, so now I have to open plugin registration tool. Enter plugin registration tool. This is plugin registration tool. Click on it. Do you want to connect to all? So we need to connect to CRM first. Yes. Yesterday we created one instance, right? Trial instance. So this is the connection that I used yesterday. Select this, click OK. Now I need to enter the password. Now I entered the password. It will ask for the okay, it is loading. Now it is loading. Okay, now you can see plugin registration tool got opened. Where did we register? You can see MSCRM custom workflows dot AirAsia. No, not this. AirAsia one is not ours. Is this the one which we? Okay, just let me check. Okay, this is the one. Okay, so MSCRM dot custom workflow dot AirAsia. So this is our custom workflow. So select this custom workflow, click on update. So you have an update here. I need to update the DLL. Okay. So when I click on update, you can see this page. Now you need to click on three dots. Okay. So when I click on three dots, you can see this is our DLL, mscrm.customworkflow.airratio.dll, which just got updated. So this is our file. Select this file, click open, and then update selected plugins. So now I am just updating the existing custom workflow. Okay, now it got updated. Let's go back to our system workflow. So where do we have system workflow? So this is our system workflow, right? Let's refresh this particular page because we just modified the custom workflow. Okay, now you can see after refresh, you can see an error icon. Why? Because see, we set the input parameter. So here we set the input parameter is required argument, but we haven't passed the input parameter. That is why it is showing error message. Okay, you can't save it if it is showing error. So let's click on set properties here. Now you can see what is the input parameter that we declared. What is the input parameter that we declared? What is the name of the input parameter? What is the name of the input parameter? See here, the name of the input parameter is job title, right? So the name of the input parameter is job title. That is why you can see the job title name here. So what I did, I just this is our custom workflow. I just clicked on set properties. When I click on set properties, you can see the job title as input parameter. Let's say if you want to pass this job title information, you can click on this checkbox. See here in the dynamic values. So this is contact. So now I want to pass the contact related job title. So contact related fields will be shown here. Click here. Contact related fields will be shown. What are the fields? Job title. So let's check for the job title. See here we have job title. So now I am passing contact related job title. Click on add. Click OK. Okay, so now I am passing the contact job title as an input parameter from system workflow to custom workflow. So this is input property, input parameter. Okay, so now I am passing job title from system workflow to custom workflow. So you can click on save and close. So when you click on save and close, that error message gone. Previously we have seen error message here. Now it is not showing up. Okay, so this is how you have to pass the input parameter. Okay, so this is how you have to pass the input parameter. So so input is done. So what do you have extra? See, you declared input parameter, you declared output parameter. Let's say they are passing the input parameter, job title as input parameter. You also need to receive that information in your custom workflow. So they are passing from system workflow, they are passing the job title. You also need to receive it in CRM, right? Sorry, you also need to receive it in custom workflow, right? So how to receive it? You need to write it like, so this is your job title. So you need to write it like, so just go to the Google, everything is available. Why to write again? See, you have to write it like this. To get the input property information, so you have to write it like this. Okay, you have to write it like this dot, what is the name of it? Job title. Name of the input parameter is job title. This dot job title dot get, what is the type? It is string, so you have to write it like string. And you also need to pass the execution context. What is the execution context? So this is workflow context. So just I think this context we have to pass. Okay, so you have to pass it like this. When you write like this, what will it give? It gives us the job title. Job title. Okay, so you need to write it like this dot job title. So this is input parameter. This dot job title dot get string. This is of type string, and we are passing execution context as a parameter. Okay, so if you write it like this will give us the job title. Let's say so now I am modifying the cost of product to 8,000. And when I click on save, what is the job title right now, which is having software 123. So this software 123 will come here and it will be stored here, because this software 123 we are passing it from system work. This is your system workflow. From system workflow we are passing it to custom workflow. See here, this will be replaced with software 123. Okay, so the software 123 will be pushed to custom workflow. Once it is pushed to custom workflow, so it will be stored in the input argument here. So from this variable we are getting the job title. How to get the job title? You need to write it like this dot job title dot get, which is of type string, using execution context as a parameter. So now Job title will be stored here. Software 123 will be stored here. This is how you can receive the information from system workflow to custom workflow. Let's say if you want to pass the information from custom workflow to system workflow. Now I have a custom workflow. I want to send the data from custom workflow to system workflow. So custom workflow to system workflow, you can send the data through out argument or output parameter. Okay. So I want to pass yes or no information or true or false information. Let's say in this custom workflow, what are we doing? We are updating. We are updating the claim cost of product with the contact cost of product. So there is a field on cost of product on contact which has some value. Same value it should get updated on all the claims which are specific to that particular contact. Okay, so that is what we are doing. Let's say after update what should I do? I just wanted to set the flag as yes. Let's say if all the claims are updated, then what should I do? I want to set the flag as true. So you have this particular flag, right? Is claim updated? Is claim update done? Or you can keep it like is claim updated? Is claim updated? Okay, so this is my flag. This is my flag. I want to set this flag as true if all the claims are updated. I want to set this flag as false if there is any exception or if the update is not done. So now I want to set this output parameter. So this is output parameter name. How to set this output parameter? You can go to Google and find out the syntax. Okay, so yeah, you can set it like this. You can set it like this. Okay, copy, go back to the code. So here I am updating the claims. Okay, after this, I wanted to set the flag. This dot, what is our output parameter? Dot is claim updated. I wanted to set this flag. So here I need to pass the same execution context. See, this is the context that I have to pass. Okay, and I wanted to set this as true. Okay, I wanted to set this flag as true. Okay, let's say if all the claims are updated, then I wanted to set this flag as true. Okay, otherwise false. Otherwise false. Initially I will set it as false. Okay, so copy it. Initially I will set this flag as false. Okay, initially let's set it as false. So here is claim updated, set this to false. Initially, I am setting this flag as false. Once the update is done, once all the claims are updated, then I wanted to set this flag as true. If any error occurs when they are updating, then it will throw an exception. If there is an exception above, this statement will not get executed. What will be the value of the flag is claim updated? Initially we set the flag as false. So in case if there is any error, it will return false. In if there is no error, then it will return true. Okay, so this is how you can set the output parameter. Okay, so since I modified this code, I need to build it again. Right click, build. Now we are building the project. Build is done. You need to go to plugin registration tool. This is XRM toolbox. So go to plugin registration tool. This is my plugin registration tool. So this is my custom workflow. Click on update, three dots. See, this is my DLL. It just got updated. See, 12.8 just got updated. Click open. Now I am updating the custom workflow inside the CRM. Okay, so let it update. So now it is done. Update is done. Now what should we do? Just to refresh the system workflow. Okay, so I just refresh this system workflow. So now we are calling a custom workflow here. Okay, and we are passing the input parameter here. This is the input parameter, but where can we see the output parameter? Let's say if you want to see the output parameter, you can click on add step. Let's say if you want to check any condition, you wanted to know whether claims are updated or not. Claims are updated or not. You want to check the condition like claims are updated or not. How to check that? You can simply click on check condition. You can click on check condition. So click on this check condition link. So here you click on select. Instead of contact, you select this custom workflow. So I'm selecting this particular custom workflow. So this custom workflow is sending output parameter. This is coming from where is claim updated. Where did we declare this? So is claim updated, we declared it as a output parameter. See here, is claim updated. Whatever the name that I have given here, the same name it is coming up here. And this is of which type? Boolean type. It has true or false. Select equals to. So it has true or false. See, let's say if it is true, which means that all claims are updated. Okay, if it is false, claims are not updated. Let's click on save and close. Okay, now I am calling the custom workflow here. This custom workflow is returning one output parameter. The name of the output parameter is claim updated. It is a boolean value. It will return true or false. If it is true, claims are updated. If it is false, claims did not update it. Okay, so here I am checking the condition. Here I am checking the condition if claims are updated or not. Okay, let's say if claims are updated, if I want to send an email, I can send out. Let's say if I want to send out an email to anyone, I can simply click on send email, and I can send out an email to anyone. So this is how you can use the input and output parameter to pass the data between system workflow and custom workflow. Okay, output parameters will pass the data from custom workflow to system workflow. Input parameters will pass the data from system workflow to custom workflow. Okay, so with this we are done with the custom workflows. Okay, so with this we are done with the custom workflows. We started the server side coding. As part of that, first we discussed about the system workflow, and after that we discussed about the custom workflow. We have seen how we can write a simple custom workflow, and how we can attach that, how we can register it, and how we can attach that custom workflow into a system workflow. And we also discussed about passing the parameters between system workflow and custom workflow. Okay, so with this, system workflows and custom workflows topic is done. Okay, so now we are going to start on the next topic, which is very very important topic, that is plugins. Okay, now we will start on the plugins topic. Okay, so plugins also very very important topic. Let's say if you are taking interview on CRM, if they are asking questions on coding, so most of the questions you will get it will be on plugins only. Okay, so they will ask like, how will you write a plugin? Can you explain how to write a plugin and the steps how you can write it, and how you can register it? While registering it, what are the so you have different stages when registering a plugin. So they might ask you to explain the stages, and they might ask you about the images. There are two types of images in plugins, like pre and post images, and importance of them. So they will ask a lot of questions on plugins. Okay, so plugins is very very important. So so the main difference between plugins and custom workflow is, see, Will you call the custom workflow directly? Is there any possibility that we can call the custom workflow directly?
No,
How can you call a custom workflow?
through system workflow.
Through system workflow. There is only one way. Through system workflow only you can call the custom workflow, right? But if you want to call the plugin, okay. So if you want to call the plugin, you no need to take any external help. Okay, plugins can be called independently, unlike custom workflows. If you want to call a custom workflow, you need to take the help of system workflow. But plugins can be initiated independently. So you no need to take any external help to initiate or trigger plugins. Okay, so first we will take one example similar to the one which we have taken for custom workflow. Okay, but we will take two different entities. Okay, and we will try to implement that. Okay, first let's talk about the requirement and then we will try to implement that. Okay, let's click on employees. Let's open any employee and let's say if we have any. You have company. So this company is like account, right? Right. Okay. So we will take one example which is similar to the custom workflow one. Okay. So but here I am taking a different entities. Previously we have taken claim and contacts. Now we will take employee and company. See, this is employee record or employee entity. So this is employee entity. When I open any employee record, I can see the salary of an employee. I can see the salary of an employee, right? See, now here each and every employee is associated to a specific company. Okay, see, this particular employee is associated to TCS company. Okay, so now my requirement is, let's say if I go to company, so company is nothing but an account. Let's click on accounts. See, I have three accounts, three companies. Let's open one company. So this is HCL company. So I have revenue field, annual revenue. See here, you have an annual revenue field. So my requirement is, so when I modify this particular annual revenue, let's say if I keep the annual revenue as 70,000. Now I modified the annual revenue to 70,000. And when I click on save, what should happen? This company, this HCL contains some employees, right? So HCL is associated to employees. So when I click on related, you can see the employees information. See, employees are there. Click on employees. When I click on employees, you can see the list of employees. So how many employees are there? Total 5 employees are there, which are specific to this particular HCL company. So my requirement is when I modify the annual revenue, okay, when I modify the annual revenue, I need to get the list of employees which are specific to this particular company, and I wanted to update the salary of an employee to same annual revenue. Now I have given annual revenue as 70,000. The same 70,000 value should get updated on salary of each and every employee. So this salary of an each and every employee should get updated with annual revenue of a company. Okay, so I'm just reiterating one more time. I have a company. In that company, there are few employees working. Okay, so when I modify the company account annual revenue, I should trigger my logic. When I modify the annual revenue, I should trigger my logic. And then I need to get the list of employees who are working in this particular company. And I wanted to update the salary. I want to update the salary of an employee to 70,000. Whatever the annual revenue that I am giving it here, the same annual revenue value should get updated on salary of an employee. Is it okay? Everybody got the requirement?
Yes, sir. Yes. Good.
Okay. So what is our trigger point here when we should trigger the logic?
When we modify the annual revenue
Very good. When I modify the annual revenue of account.
of
Okay.
account,
So what is the target entity here? Target entity.
the number of employees who are associated with that account, the salary should be 70,000.
That is fine. I'm asking about the target entity. Target means on which
Entity,
entity? On which
employees,
entity? No, not an employee. See here,
Account, account.
when we return a custom workflow, see here, we are getting a target, right? What is the target here? Contact is the target. Why the contact become the target? Because when I when I go to a contact, when I open the contact, I am modifying the cost of product of a contact, that I am modifying the contact related field, and my system workflow is getting triggered. So in whichever the entity we have the trigger, that will become the target entity. So that is why here in the custom workflow, when I try to get the target, it is returning contact entity, because on contact entity only we are triggering the custom workflow. But here, can you tell me which entity become the target?
account.
Account entity will become the target, because when I modify the annual revenue, my logic should get triggered. This annual revenue field is available in account entity. So that is why uh, our target entity is account entity. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
now you understood the requirement, right? So now when I modify the annual revenue, I want to get the list of employees which are associated to this particular account, and I wanted to update the salary of these employees to 70,000. Whatever the value that I am entering on annual revenue, same should get updated here. Okay, so that is my requirement. So here we will try to implement this requirement using plugin. Okay, we will try to implement this requirement using plugin. Okay, so if you want to write a plugin, first see, when you are writing a custom workflow, first we are setting the trigger, and then we are writing the logic. We created a system workflow, and we set the trigger in the system workflow, and then we went to the custom workflow implementation. But if you are writing a plugin, first we will write the logic by imagining that our workflow is going to trigger on change of annual revenue. We will set the trigger at the end. After implementing the plugin, after writing the code, we will try to set the trigger point. Okay, when you are writing a custom workflow, first we will set the trigger in the system workflow. But when you are writing a plugin, first, we will write the code by imagining that my plugin will get trigger on change of annual revenue, and the target will become the account entity. After that, we will register the plugin. After that, we will set the trigger. So trigger we will be setting in the last. Initially, we will write the code. Okay, so now we are going to implement the plugin using Visual Studio. Okay, we are going to write the plugin code using Visual Studio. That is our first step. After that, we will register that plugin. After that, we will set the trigger. Okay, so let's implement the plugin using uh, Visual Studio. Okay, see, implementing a custom workflow, implementing a plugin, almost similar. Okay, almost 90% is similar. So you will follow the same steps like custom workflow. Okay, so if you know how to write a custom workflow, it is easy to implement custom sorry plugin. Okay, so let's open Visual Studio first. Let's open Visual Studio. Now I am going to implement a plugin. Okay, so this is my Visual Studio. You can create a new project, or you can also click on continue without code. So here you need to click on file, new. I want to create a project, new project. So what type of project we should select? We discussed when we are discussing about the custom workflow. So you need to select class library project. Class library. You need to select class library project. So this class library project, you shouldn't select class library .NET standard. You shouldn't select this. You should select class library .NET framework. You should select that. So this is class library .NET framework. Click next. So here you need to give the project name. I'm giving it like mscrm dot plugins dot batch batch 4. I'm just giving this project name. You can give any project name which you want. Okay, so it should be meaningful. You cannot give it like Venkat plugins or something like that. See, if you are working in a real-time project, you have to give some meaningful names. Okay. See here, I have given the project name like this. You need to select the framework as 4.6.2, and then let's click on create. Same thing we did it for custom workflow. Now the steps are also similar. Okay. See, this is your plugin code. This is your plugin. This is your class1.cs. This is the class file. And inside this class file only, we are going to write the code. See, first step is you need to rename this class name. Same thing we have done it for uh, custom workflow. So rename this class file. How to rename? Right click. You have a rename option, rename. So I'm giving the name like update employee salary. Okay, so meaningful name. You shouldn't delete that .cs because that is the extension of this class file. Okay, so click outside and just click yes. When you click yes, here also you can see the name change. See, here also it got updated. So you just need to click on save. Now I renamed the class name. After that, what should we do? You need to add the references, CRM references. Here you need to add the CRM references. Same references we added for custom workflow. SDK, Microsoft.xrm.sdk, Microsoft.xrm.sdk.workflow, those references. So right click on references, add reference. So click on browse. So where did you saved it? See, go to desktop. References are available in SDK. Previously, we already downloaded the SDK. So type SDK. So open SDK, double click on SDK, go to bin folder. Inside the SDK, we have the DLL. SDK, Microsoft.xrm.sdk, Microsoft.xrm.workflow. This is not required, but if you want to add, you can add. If you are writing a plugin, click on add, click OK. Now I added the references. Microsoft.xrm.sdk, Microsoft.xrm.sdk.workflow. Okay.
Sir, in the real time also we need to go to same steps only, no?
Yeah, same steps. We are
Okay.
talking about the real-time projects only. Okay.
Yes.
Same thing what we are doing in real-time projects, right? Same thing. You can also add the references like this, or you can also do install the references from NuGet Package Manager. Okay. So this is easy actually. Okay. Now this is done. After this, after adding the references, you can also add the directories like this. Same thing using Microsoft dot xrm dot SDK and using Microsoft dot xrm dot SDK dot workflow. So these are the two references that we added, and we added the directories for them. Okay, so now it is done. So after that, so this is your class file. See, when we are writing a custom workflow, what is the abstract class that we used? When we are writing a custom workflow, what is the abstract class that we used? See, when I open the custom workflow, this is your custom workflow, and this is your class name. What is the abstract class that we used?
Code activity.
Code activity abstract class. See, if you are writing a custom workflow, you have to use code activity abstract class. But if you are writing a plugin, you are not using a abstract class. You are using you are not using abstract class. Instead, you are using interface. Okay. So what is the interface that we need to inherit? That is I plugin interface. You just need to add colon I plugin interface. Okay. See, this is very important question. If you are writing a custom workflow, you need to use code activity abstract class. If you are writing a plugin, you need to inherit I plugin interface. This is interface, that is abstract class. Okay. So when I try to inherit this I plugin interface, it is showing an exception. You can see error message here. So to overcome this error, you just need to mouse over on it. See, click on show potential fixes, implement interface. We just added interface, but we have not implemented the method inside this interface. Okay, just to click on implement interface, error will go off. Okay. So when you try to inherit this iPlugin interface, you also need to implement this execute method. That is must. If you do not have this execute method, this will show exception. Okay. So when you are trying to inherit any plugin inside that interface, you will be having some methods. You have to implement those methods. Okay. So now you are going to implement execute method. See, when you are writing a custom workflow, here also you are overriding the execute method. Same method in custom workflow, also execute method, in plugin also execute method. So this is the first method which will get trigger when you run a plugin. Let's say when you initiate a plugin, what is the first method which will get trigger? That is execute method. If anyone asks you what is the first method which will get trigger in a plugin, if they ask you like that, then you should tell them that it is execute method. So execute method is the trigger point. Okay, now this is execute method which has a parameter. What is the parameter which has? It has service provider. It has a parameter that is called service provider. Okay, now we have an execute method. See, now using this plugin, what should I do? I need to retrieve the records. I need to update the records. I need to retrieve all the employees. I want to update all the employees salary with the annual revenue of a company, right? So I have to perform retrieve operation. I have to perform update operation. See, if I want to perform create, update, retrieve, delete any operation, what I need in plugin, what we need, if we want to implement create, update, delete any operation, if you want to perform
Service.
service, very good. So we need service object. If you do not have a service, you cannot create, update, delete, you cannot perform any operation. So first step is to get the service. I want the service. If you want a service, first you need to get the service from service factory. You might be needing service factory. So if you want the service factory, you need the context of a plugin. So they are interrelated. So I want service. Okay, if I want service, first you need to get the service factory, because from service factory only we can get the service. Service factory is a pool of services. From those pool of services, we need to get one single service. So if I want to get service object, first I need to get service factory. Okay, if I want to get service factory, initially I need context of the plugin. Okay, if I do not have a context, I cannot get the service factory. So those are interrelated. So first I need to get the plugin context of the plugin. After that, service factory. After that, service. Okay, you no need to by heart this code. Everything is available. If you don't know how to get the service, you can simply go to Google, type MSCRM plugin, type get service. Okay, so when you type it like this, you will get the code. Okay, so these are the steps. These are the steps. Okay, copy. Okay, just give me a second. Hello, you guys with me? Hello, you guys there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry, I got a call. I just moved out of this thing. Okay, yeah. So we just need to copy this code. You no need to buy hard anything. You can simply type right MSCRM plugin get service. So here, so this is your custom workflow code activity. Let's close this. We don't require this. This is your plugin. So inside the execute method, you can paste it. Inside the execute method, you can paste it. Okay. So you can save it. See, you don't need to buy hard the code. Everything you can get it from the Google. Okay. So here you have in the execute method, you have service provider. So let's say I told you, right? If you want the service, you need to get the service factory. If you want the service factory, first you need to get the context. Okay. So first you need to get the context. How to get the context? See, using the service provider, you need to write it like service provider dot get service, which is of type I plugin execution context. So if you write it like this will give you the context of the plugin, which is of type I plugin execution context, I plugin execution context. Okay. So once you get the why we need to get this context, if you know the context of the plugin, from this context you can get the target entity. What is target entity? Account is the target entity. So from the context only you can get the target entity. From the context only you can get the plugin. Let's say if I am modifying the see, I log into the system as Dharani. I log into the system as Dharani. I am modifying the annual revenue. Let's say if I modify the annual revenue to 80,000, let's click on save. So when I click on save, it is getting triggered. Okay, my plugin should get triggered, right? Who is initiating this plugin? See, I log into the system and I modified this annual revenue. So I am initiating this. Dharani is initiating this. So that information is available in the context, right? If I write it like context.user ID, this will give us the Dharani user ID. Okay, so in the context you will have the information of the information of the entity which is getting triggered, and context only you will have the information of fields which are getting modified. All that information is available in context only, so that is why you need to get the context. So after getting the context, you need to get the service factory. Why we need to get the service factory? So using the service factory, you can get the service. If you do not have service factory, you cannot get the service. So service factory, first you need to get it. So how to get the service factory? See, you have service provider. So using the service provider, you need to write it like service provider dot get service provider dot get service, which is of type I organization service factory. So you need to write it like service provider dot get service, which is of type I organization service factory. So if you write it like this will give you the service factory. So service factory is a pool of services. If you want to get the service, you need to get the service factory first. Now we got the service factory. From the service factory you need to type it like service factory dot create organization service. If you write it like service factory dot create organization service, and if you pass the user id, whoever is initiating this plugin, that user id you have to pass it. If you pass it like this will give you the service. Once you have the service, once you have the service, using the service, if I write it like service dot associate, create, delete, retrieve multiple. So everything update also you can have. So once you have the service, you can create or update or delete, or you can do any operation that you want. Okay, so that is service. Okay, so that is how you have to get the service. So after service, what you have to get, you also need to get the target entity. What is target entity here? Which entity is target entity here? On which entity we are triggering this? plugin?
Account.
Account entity. So account entity will become the target. How to get the target entity information? Using the context. So you have context here. If you write it like context dot input parameters of context dot input parameters of in double quotes, if you write it like target, if you write it like this will give you the target entity. So this is entity. You need to typecast it to entity. You need to typecast it to entity. Entity is nothing but a entity is nothing but a record. So if I write it like this will give the if I write it like this will give you the target entity. Okay, so you need to store the target entity information, right? So entity target account equal to, okay, so using this particular context, if I write it like context dot input parameters of target, if I write it like this will give you the target entity. Now I am storing the target entity in the target account object. Okay, so this is how you have to get the target entity object. This is how you have to get the target entity object. Okay, now we got the service, now we got the target entity. Okay, so now what we have to do first, we need to get the annual revenue. See here you have annual revenue here, right? This annual revenue information we need to get, whether it is 80,000 or 60,000 or whatever the amount that we are entering it here, this information we need to get. So you have target account. From this target account you can get the annual revenue, this information. How to get the annual revenue, I'll show you. So you need to check first, you need to check if this particular target account contains annual revenue or not. Sometimes annual revenue might be empty also, right? So let's say if there is no annual revenue, so this is empty, right? So first you need to check if this annual revenue contains value or not. Okay, so to check if annual revenue contains value or not, you need to write if statement. If target account dot attributes dot contains, open close, okay, target account dot attributes dot contains, so in the double quotes, so you have annual revenue schema name, right? So you need to pass the annual revenue schema name. What is annual revenue schema name? So let's go to account. So you do not have account entity here, so let's click on components. So this is our solution. Okay, let's click on add existing entity. Let's add account entity. So let's include all assets. Okay, let's click on finish. So I just wanted to get the schema name of annual revenue. So no, do not include, click OK. So let's expand account fields. Okay, so let's find out the annual revenue. Annual revenue. So let's next annual revenue. Annual. Okay, where do we have annual revenue? Uh, next. Yeah, so you have annual revenue here. The schema name is just a revenue. Okay, copy this, go back to the code, paste it here. Okay, open close. So this is simple if condition. So what I am doing here, I am just checking if this particular target account contains annual revenue value or not. Sometimes it is empty, sometimes it might be having a value, right? So let's say if it is contains this value, let's say target account contains value, let's say value is 70, 80 or any any value, then this statement will give you true. Contain, we have written contains. Contains means if it is having 70,000 value is there, right? So it will return true. If annual revenue is empty, this will return false. Okay, if it is false, sorry, if it does not contain any value, it will return false. If it contains value, it will return true. So now I wanted to get the value. So this target account contains annual revenue. How to get it? So target account dot attributes. Attributes means fields. So what is the field schema name? That is revenue. Annual revenue schema name is revenue. Okay, this is of which type? Money type, right? Currency type. This is currency type. The data type is currency. Okay, so now let's typecast it to money. If it is currency, you need to typecast it to money. Okay, so now I want to get the value. So if I want to get the value, you just need to type dot value. So this statement will give you the value which is entered in the annual revenue field. Let's say if I enter 50,000, if I enter 50,000, 50,000 will be 50,000 will be returned from the statement. If I enter 70,000, 70,000 will come here. So I need to store this one, right? Equal to, I need to store this. So here we are getting the revenue value, right? So it is which type? Decimal type. Decimal annual annual revenue. Okay, so now I am getting the annual revenue of an account. Now I am getting the annual revenue of an account. Okay, now I know what is the annual revenue of an account. Now what we need to do, we need to retrieve the related employees, and we also need to update the salary of an employee with annual revenue. So we need to perform retrieve operation, we need to perform update operation. Okay, that we will see tomorrow. I will just pause it here for today. uh, Retrieval and update we will see it tomorrow. Okay, so with this I'll just pause it here for today. So in case if you have any open questions, you can ask. Okay, open for questions.
No, sir. Okay.
Okay, okay then if no other questions, I think we are good to close the call for today.